Hello everyone, welcome to IamLogic IGA platform. In this demo, I will show you how to automate the access certification process, also called as entitlement review, for the CyberArk PAM application using IamLogic IGA. You will see how managers can quickly review and certify user access to CyberArk saves and groups. And with just one click, they can revoke any unnecessary or risky access. Before we jump into the demo, let's quickly understand what access certification means. Access certification, also called entitlement review, is a process where managers periodically review the CyberArk access assigned to each user and confirm whether it is still needed for their role. Enterprises typically run these reviews quarterly or annually to meet compliance requirements such as ISO 27001 or PCI DSS. During the review, the managers can either approve the access or revoke it. If something is revoked, the system automatically removes that access from CyberArk PAM application. Now, why is automation required for a certification process? Because in real life, people change roles, move to different teams, or leave the company. But their old access often remains. That creates unnecessary permissions, higher security risk, and compliance gaps. Many companies still run these reviews using emails and spreadsheets. It's slow, hard to track, and becomes difficult to produce a clean audit trail. In this demo, I will show you how IamLogic automates CyberArk PAM access certification end to end. Let's take a look at the minimal data setup for our demo. We will demonstrate the access certification process using a small team. We have Ramesh, Priya, and Suresh, who are part of the IT operations group. They all report to Arun Kumar, the IT operations manager. As part of the certification process, Arun is responsible for reviewing CyberArk access for each team member and deciding whether to approve or revoke it. Here you can see a table showing the current CyberArk access for each user. The items marked in red represent excessive access and that should be revoked. So the manager Arun will revoke these excessive permissions marked in red. For example, Ramesh is a Windows support engineer. He currently has access to both Windows Prod Safe and Linux Prod Safe, along with the Windows support group. Since his role is limited to Windows support, access to the Linux Prod Safe is no longer required and should be revoked. Similarly, Priya is a Linux administrator, so she no longer needs access to the Windows support group, and that access should be revoked. In the case of Suresh, who is the database administrator, access to the Oracle Prod Safe is required. However, he currently has excessive permissions, such as add, update, and delete accounts. These permissions should be revoked while retaining the access to the safe itself. Now that we understand the setup, let us go ahead and execute the certification campaign. First, we need to pull all account and entitlement data from the CyberArk application into the IamLogic IGA application. This process is called as aggregation. For example, in this high-level architecture diagram, we can see the IamLogic IGA platform at the center. It manages identities for all employees. The IamLogic IGA platform is integrated with applications such as AWS and CyberArk using a component called connector. In our case, when we execute aggregation, all user accounts and entitlements are read from CyberArk. This information is then pushed into the IamLogic IGA platform. This data is required to execute our certification campaign. Now let us go ahead and execute the aggregation process. Let us log into the IamLogic IGA console as an administrator. Go to Tasks. Filter the tasks for CyberArk. Let us start the account aggregation task. The task has started running. The aggregation task has now completed successfully. It has pulled all required data from CyberArk. Now let us go ahead and review the identities for which we will run this certification campaign. Click on Identities. Here we can see 4 identities required for our certification campaign: Suresh, Ramesh, Priya, and Arun. Among these four identities, Arun is the manager for Suresh, Ramesh, and Priya. Let me open our data setup plan again. So, this table shows which CyberArk saves and groups are assigned to each user. For example, here the user Ramesh has access to two CyberArk saves, Windows Prod Save and Linux Prod Save, and to a CyberArk group called Windows Support Group. Now let us ensure that the same entitlements are assigned in the IGA application. Let me open the identity of Ramesh. Go to Application tab and we can see Ramesh is assigned to CyberArk PAM application. Go to Entitlements tab. Here we can see that Ramesh is assigned to a CyberArk group called Windows Support Group. He also has access to two saves, Linux Prod Save and Windows Prod Save. Go to the Managers tab. Here we can see that Arun is the manager of Ramesh. Again, by looking at the table, we can see that the entitlements for Ramesh in the IGA application exactly match what is shown here. The other two users, Priya and Suresh, also have the same access as presented here. So we have successfully pulled all the data from CyberArk by executing aggregation. Now let us proceed with executing the access certification campaign. Okay, back to the IGA application. As mentioned earlier, we are going to run the certification campaign for a small team of 3 users, Suresh, Ramesh and Priya. To do this, we have placed them in a separate group. This allows us to run the certification only for that group. Now, go to Groups. Here, we can see a group called IT Operations Group. If we check the group members, we can see that Priya, Suresh and Ramesh are part of this group. We will use this group to run our certification campaign. Here we are at step 2, where we will create a new certification campaign. Go to Certification in Navigation menu. Click on the Add button to create a new certification campaign. Let's name it CyberArk Certification. Select the identity type as Groups and choose IT Operations Group. Under Resource Type, select All Entitlements option. Open Certification Reviewer tab. Select the reviewer as Immediate Manager. In our demo, Arun is the immediate manager who will review the entitlements for his team members. Select Default Manager as the AD identity and select the identity Gopal. Actually, the default manager is the person who will perform the review if the designated reviewer is unavailable. Here, Gopal will review the certification entries when manager Arun is unavailable. Select the default action as Approved. The default action determines whether access will be approved or revoked if the reviewer does not take any action before the certification expiry time. Open Certification Schedule tab. Under Execution Frequency, we can see options to run the certification daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly and more. For this demo, we will run it only once. So select Once. Select the Run Now option to start the campaign immediately. Select the end period as 1 day. Specify an end time. Click on the Add button. So we have successfully created a new certification campaign. Go to Certification Execution in the menu. Here we can track the progress of the certification execution. As you can see, the campaign status is processing, which means it is currently in process. Let's click on the View Statistics button. In the visualization, we can see that there are total late entries that need to be reviewed. So far, nothing has been approved and nothing has been revoked. Using this visualization and report, administrators can monitor and track the certification process. Okay, now we are at step 3, where the manager signs into the IGA console and reviews the entitlements. The manager will either approve or revoke access as required. Let me go back to our demo plan. Here we can see that Arun is the manager who is responsible for performing the entitlement review. So let us log into the IGA console as Arun Kumar. Go to the IGA console, log in as Arun, who is the manager. Here we can see that Arun has received a notification for the certification review. Let us click on the notification and go to My Certification Reviews. On this screen, the manager can see all the CyberArk entitlements for his team members. Using these buttons, he can choose to either approve or revoke the access. Let us say Arun filters the entries for employee Ramesh. Here we can see that Ramesh has 3 entitlements. These are Windows Prod Safe, Linux Prod Safe, and Windows Support Group. Going back to the diagram, we can see that Ramesh has exactly 3 entitlements. Out of these, the Linux Prod Safe needs to be revoked. The Windows Prod Safe and Windows Support Group should be approved. Let us go back to the application. Let us start by revoking the Linux Prod Safe access for Ramesh. Click on the Revoke button. Click Yes to confirm. Here, we need to select the permissions that we want to revoke. Let me click on Select All to revoke all permissions. Finally, click Submit to initiate the revocation. Now let us go ahead and approve the other 2 entitlements for Ramesh by clicking on the Approve button. Now that the manager Arun has completed reviewing the CyberArk entitlements for Ramesh, he will move on to the next employee, Priya. Priya also has 3 entitlements. Let us go back to the diagram. Here, we can see that Priya should be removed from the Windows Support Group. The rest of her entitlements need to be approved. Now, let us go back to the application. Before revoking the Windows Support Group for Priya, I would like to point out one important thing. Whenever a manager removes or revokes an entitlement, it is immediately removed from the target application. In this case, the Windows Support Group will be immediately removed for Priya in the CyberArk application. To demonstrate this, we will go to the CyberArk PVWA console. I am logged into the CyberArk PVWA console as an administrator. I am currently on the user screen. Let us search for user Priya and open her record. Open the Group's Membership tab. Here we can see that Priya is currently part of the Windows Support Group. So from the IamLogic IG application, the manager will remove this group access. Once it is removed, it will be immediately reflected here. Now let us go back to the IGA application. Now let us click on the Revoke button for the Windows Support Group. Click Yes to confirm. We can see that the Windows Support Group has been removed in the IGA console. Let us verify this by checking the same in the CyberArk PVWA console. Let us search for the user Priya again and open her profile. Go to the Group Membership tab. Here we can see that the Windows Support Group is no longer assigned to Priya. This demonstrates that any entitlement revoked by the manager is immediately removed in the CyberArk PAM application. Now let us go back to the IGA application. Now we will approve the remaining entitlements for Priya. Arun will move on to the next employee, Suresh. Let us go ahead and filter the entitlements for the identity Suresh. Go back to the diagram and see which entitlements need to be revoked for Suresh. From the diagram, we can see that Suresh needs to retain access to the Oracle Cloud Safe and DBA group. However, he currently has excessive permissions on the Oracle Cloud Safe, such as add account, update account, and delete account. These permissions should be removed. So we will revoke only the permissions of the safe. Now let us go back to the IGA application. Go ahead and click on the remove button for the Oracle Cloud Safe. Click Yes to confirm. Under select scope, choose add account, delete account, and update account properties. These are the three permissions we are going to remove. Click Submit to remove these permissions from the target CyberArk PAM application. Now we will approve the remaining entitlements for Suresh. Now that the manager Arun has completed reviewing all entitlements for his team members, we will log in as an administrator and check the status of the certification campaign. Okay, now we are at step 4, where all managers have completed reviewing the entitlements. As an administrator, we will log in and check the status of the CyberArk certification campaign. We will also review the tracking and reporting options for the administrators. Log into the IamLogic IGA console as an administrator. Go to Certification Execution from the navigation menu. You can see that the campaign status is completed. Let us go ahead and click on the View Statistics button. From this visualization, we can see that there are total 8 entries in the certification campaign. Out of these, 3 entitlements are revoked and 5 entitlements are approved. If we click on the View History button, we can generate detailed reports for this certification campaign. These reports can be filtered in multiple ways, such as by identity name, resource type, or resource name. Using these features, administrators can easily track and monitor the certification process. If any entitlement revocation fails due to a technical reason, administrators will also see an option here to retry the revocation. Alright, with this, we have completed the end-to-end demo of the entitlement review or certification process for the CyberArk PAM application using the IamLogic IGA platform. Let me quickly wrap up this video by summarizing the core features of IamLogic platform. IamLogic is a complete identity platform and it comes with 2 products, IGA, Identity Governance and Administration, and IAM, Identity and Access Management. With IamLogic IGA, you can automate access requests to applications and approval workflows, enable just-in-time access, run access certifications, handle joiner, mover, leaver workflows, and enforce segregation of duties. All of this help you reduce risk and stay audit ready. We also provide a Python-based character framework to integrate with popular enterprise applications. And if you have a complex or custom requirements, our development team can help you with those integrations as well. With IamLogic IAM, you get secure access with single sign-on, multi-factor authentication, adaptive authentication, and more. Please note, IamLogic can be deployed on premises, which is great for organizations with strict compliance needs, especially in the BFSI sector. And yes, IamLogic is fully ISO 27001 certified. If you'd like a full product demo, have any questions, or you want to go for a proof of concept, feel free to call or email us. Thank you.